Hi, it's me again. And instead of talking about loads of different news stories today, I thought I'd talk about something I've been thinking about a bit recently. And if you're watching these videos, you're kind of in that sphere where I'm sure you would have heard of them. Defund the BBC. What's going on with Defund the BBC? Now, for a couple of years now, I've been soliciting donations from you lovely people out there to help them in their campaign to defund the BBC. And there's something about it that doesn't ring right with me. So, full disclosure, I've had some involvement with Defund the BBC. I mean, look at this clip, look.
Hi there, Dan. Thank you very much for having me on your show. Well, ultimately, this thing really just came out of frustration. It was completely on a whim, as I mentioned in a video I put up on my Twitter. But the key question is, how are we going to do this? Well, thanks to a YouTube video I came across many weeks ago by a chap called ChilliJonCarne, I found a method that allows the British public to legally and peacefully watch television without paying a licence fee.
So yeah, it's a gentleman called James Ussell that started Defund the BBC. And he did it by catching my first video. Now, when this started, I only had a couple of videos on the channel, and he stumbled across that. And they did reach out to me with the idea of me making some videos for them to help them. You know, they didn't have anyone who was doing videos for them. They were quite a new campaign and everything. And I did. I said, yeah, all right, I'm interested in that. That does sound interesting. And as time went on and I spoke to a few people there, I kind of turned my head against it. One, because I didn't want to make a load of videos about it. I wanted to do YouTube videos, but not necessarily about the BBC and that. So I turned, and the other one was I like to be in control of my face. That's why I don't appear on many other things, because I'd like to know that I can delete my face from the internet should I want to. And also they'd probably use my real name as well, which I don't really like having out on the internet, as you may well have noticed. But there's just something about it that doesn't ring right with me. I mean, when you look at the amount of the donations, look, so we got the Mail Online, this was 17th of September 2020. Defund the BBC campaign has raised 60 grand in donations towards bid to decriminalise non-payment of TV, as I'm sure you've all seen. And they've got a GoFundMe, and the GoFundMe is still going now, right? It's still getting, you have a look at the GoFundMe, the link's below. Don't donate to it. Well, you can do what you want to do, but I personally wouldn't. But 2 days ago, 7 days ago, 10 days ago, and they're currently at £91,274. Now, apart from a couple of billboards and that billboard truck they got to drive around London, I can't really see what they did with the money. Do you know what they did with the money? Because, I mean, I've talked a good game about stuff I want to do, and I did like leafleting campaigns and that, but nowhere near the level I want to be, you know. But I didn't ask you for money to do it. That was all done out of my own pocket, and you know, I've had other things going on. They've solicited, must be over 100 grand, because that donation page isn't the only place, that GoFundMe isn't the only place you can donate to defund the BBC. They have other places, and they solicit donations directly through their own website as well. Where's the money going? So I have asked them in the past, because James, he left Defund the BBC not long after it started. He left because he wanted to focus on his studies. He was going to uni, and he now works in some campaigning thing. I had a quick look at his LinkedIn earlier. But yeah, so now it's run by Rebecca Ryan, who I'm sure you've heard of, because she's the one that does all the PR stuff for it. I asked them a while back, can you tell me what you did, or what you are currently doing with the money, please? I think that's a fair question, right? We're all in the same sphere together. We're all playing on the same team. Where's the money going? For that, I got ignored and blocked on Twitter. So, have you donated to Defund the BBC? I'm sure a few of you out there probably have. You know, if you're interested in that sort of thing, that's why you're watching these videos, right? Ask them. Do me a favour, ask them, send them an email, send them a tweet, do something, ask them what they did with the money, because she set it up, this Rebecca Ryan, she's actually set it up as a limited company. And because she set it up as a limited company, the accounts are public. So this is the 30th of June 22 with the last filed accounts, and they're micro accounts with the small business exemption and all of that stuff that I don't fully understand, right? But it says here, in 2021, there was £18,000 worth of assets, £18,513 of prepayments and accrued income. But in 2022, have a look at that. Look, so the total in the pot is £2,123. So something's gone on with that money. Where did the money go? You know, if they've spent it on campaigning or on PR, that's okay. That's what people paid it for. Tell us. Why can't you tell us? So Rebecca Ryan also has other companies, right? So she works, or she's the director, she's the owner and director of a company called Blue Sky Strategy. And if you scroll down, they do a lot of PR and online marketing. Oh, hold on, it's an important call. Hello? Sorry, that's an important one, I had to take that. So if you scroll down, there's some videos from government. I think there's a Priti Patel video on there, so she's in with the government. And then there's some actual featured tweets and videos from Global Vision UK, which is also her company, or was. If you look at her LinkedIn, she used to work for Global Vision UK. So the money's disappeared from Defund the BBC. She doesn't look like she's doing a lot of business with Blue. Now, I'm not saying anything nefarious is going on. Of course I'm not. But it'd be a very easy way to disprove me, wouldn't there? Shows where the money went. Show us where the money went. Because you can also look at the accounts for Blue Sky Strategy Limited, which is her company. And you can see that, where are we? Current assets, 77,000. And there's not a lot going on there. So I'm intrigued as to what's gone on, because I mean, on their GoFundMe they got a picture of that billboard that they did, but if you have a look at it, Lineker's salary is listed at 1.75 million. Didn't he take a voluntary, well, he did take a voluntary pay cut to bring him down to 1.35, I think it is. But that was, how long ago was that? A year? 18 months ago? So that's the most recent billboard they've done. Is it? With over what must be over £100,000 worth of donations. Where's it gone? Where has it gone? So if you have donated to them, I'm sure you may well have. Ask them. Ask them for me. Yeah. Then when they started that, I only had 2 or 3 videos about the TV licence fee. One was my first one, and the other 2 I think were just replies to it. Just replies to it, where I had loads of questions and stuff. It wasn't something I wanted to get too heavily involved with. But after they reached out to me and asked me to make videos for them, I thought maybe I should start doing some myself. There was one video on there that I made for them. Actually, I think that's gone now. That was because I've updated it with a new one. It's what you can watch without a TV license fee with the green screen background. I did initially make that for them and decided against the whole thing, and put it up on my own channel for the reasons that I said. The reasons I said a minute ago. But I don't know. It just, there's something about it. There's something about it that just doesn't ring right, isn't there? Because, I'm not going to win this fight. I know that. I'm just some numpty from Essex who makes a couple of YouTube videos. So to inspire that James guy who made such a big impression in it, I mean, it really went, didn't it? It really went off, the Defund the BBC campaign. It went massive, bigger than I could ever get. And they did it like overnight. And to be part of inspiring that, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. I know I'm not going to win this fight. I don't have the contacts out there. I don't have any PR experience. I don't know anything about the media landscape. Someone else is going to have to win the fight. I just want to play a small part in it. So I was quite excited by the whole thing. But it's just a massive letdown. And the founder, the man who was passionate about it, the man who founded it, that James, to then leave, I don't know why. I mean, he had his own reasons, going off to study and stuff. He was studying 24 hours a day. I don't know, but his name's on it, isn't it? His name will forever be on it. And if it comes out as dirty, his name is on it. So yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this. I mean, the main thing is, I wanted to ask you that if you have donated, could you ask them where the money went? Because I was very polite. I'm not a rude person, as you may know. I'm not a rude person at all. I sent them a polite email and a couple of tweets when I didn't get a reply to the email. I think this was quite a while ago now. I just said, what did you do with the money? Can you tell me what you spent it on, please? And for that, I got blocked. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe you do. So I just wanted to have a chat about it. It's just something about it. There's something about the whole situation. It just doesn't ring right. They blew up so quick. If you gave me 100 grand, not that I'd never asked for money. If you gave me 100 grand, I could leaflet half the country for that. I could bring in more people to the fight. They've got all this social media presence. They do so much. She's always on Talk TV and GB News, isn't she? Like for comment. That's not something that'll ever happen to me. I don't know. I just want to see what they did with the money. I just want to see what they did with the money. Did she take it as a salary? I'm not saying she did. I don't want to get into any legal issues here. Although if I did, it would mean she'd have to open the accounts up to explain what she did with the money. But, yeah, I don't want to believe there's anything nefarious going on. But I would like to know what they did. I really would. But yeah, anyway, moving on. I got some of your comments, as always. Let's go through some of your comments and we'll wrap this up. I want to cheer things up a bit. I realised recently, right, I've been wearing blue shirts every day. It's just a weird thing that I've had when I'm working in the office, and I've been working from home for a few years, but back in the office I'm back with a blue shirt with a t-shirt underneath, right? It's kind of my thing. And I started watching Married with Children again recently, one of my favourite sitcoms, probably the second best sitcom of all time, only just behind Only Fools and Horses, right? And it's Al Bundy. I've started to dress like Al Bundy. And then when you look at Al Bundy's dog, that Buck, which was a Briard, I believe, I got a dog that looks exactly the same as that. How weird. Oh, it's smaller. I miss my dog. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. And Peggy, I would settle for Peggy Bundy as well. That's my kind of woman. I could settle for that. Anyway, comments. How about non-UK TV channels? For example, Fox News or Sky News Australia. Can you watch them live on YouTube or non-UK TV channels via their websites? Does using a VPN make any difference? No. The TV license fee, or the TV license rules, mean you can't watch or record anything as it's being broadcast, and it doesn't matter where those broadcasts originate from. How ridiculous, right? What business is it of the BBC's if you watch a foreign TV channel? What business is it of theirs? It makes no sense whatsoever. But no, you can't. Using a VPN will give you access to more stuff. It doesn't make it legit. You can't watch or record anything that's being broadcast, no matter where that broadcast originates from. And it's just another stupid rule for this stupid tax. So on the one where I was wearing the flat cap, spoiler alert, 6:49, Chilli John works for the BBC. I don't know if he meant it as a joke or not. I don't know. Possibly he did. I said in the video, well, this is what I said. And the company I work for, again, I'm not going to tell you, I'll never tell you who I work for, but it is probably the most diverse company on the planet. At one point, when it wasn't a big company when I joined, I've been there about 9 years now, it wasn't a big company. And when I joined, I was literally the only straight man in the office. And there's no reason I can't tell you where I work or who I work for. It's just for personal reasons. You don't need to know. You know, that's why I don't use my real name on here. When I first started this channel, loads of people have been in the game for ages, especially those on TV Licence Resistance Forum, and we're all friends now over there, but we wasn't for a long while. Accused me of working for the BBC. I'm a BBC shill. I was a BBC shill, and you think I'd be a little bit better at filming and presenting. I can't even work this camera properly. Yeah, it does make me, I got it a lot. So that also what makes me think maybe it's not a joke. But if you watch that clip, I do say, when I started working for the company 9 years ago, it was very small. And it was very small. The BBC wasn't very small 9 years ago, was it? Oh, yeah, funny. But if you think I work for the BBC, tell me your reasons below. I haven't had these discussions for a while. I seem to have evaded most of it. These comments have made me feel better, and the video. Can they fine you £1,000 though? My letter says they can also apply for search warrants and all sorts. The maximum fine is £1,000. If you're caught watching something you shouldn't be watching without being correctly licensed, the maximum fine is £1,000. But it's very, very, very rarely given out. I don't think I've ever actually heard of the full 1,000 being given out, but I'm sure it probably has. I've never heard of it. The average fine, information that I got from TV Licence Resistance Forum, the average fine's about 160 quid, something like that. Because most people who get caught for this offence are low income people anyway. So they never really charge the big one, will they? But again, it's important to remember that you can only get the fine and get into trouble if you talk to the goons. There is no other way. And yes, they do like to threaten search warrants on the letters. They also like to say things like you can be interviewed under caution, because it makes them sound important, and that's why they call themselves enforcement officers, because it makes them sound important, like they've got some powers that they don't. So there's only one way you can get into trouble, and that's by talking to them. Don't watch stuff you shouldn't be watching. I never condone that, but don't talk to them anyway. What else we got? Hi there, no licence needed phone line is now automated. You don't even need to speak to them. I renewed mine a few weeks back, only took a few minutes. Yeah, the website goes up and down for declaring you don't need a licence. I swear it's when they've got a busy time, when there's loads of people cancelling, I swear they take it offline on purpose. But I haven't phoned it for ages because I haven't done the low licence needed declaration for about 4 years now. I haven't done it. I did do it, so I didn't know it was automated. So I'll give it a test call later just to check. But yeah, okay. Thank you for letting me know. Because I do this every day, you get a bit out of the loop with some stuff, you know. And yeah, I did say I'd have a few days off because I was hoping to move, the house completing on Friday, which it didn't. It did not complete, and that's what that phone call I just had to take was about. It's still not completed, and it might not be completed this week. They've got a month extension on the mortgage, which I might now have knackered, because that phone call was asking me if anything has changed in my personal circumstances. Otherwise they can't give the month extension on the mortgage. And I said, no, nothing's changed apart from emptying my bank account to send a conveyancer the deposit and the fee money, and more fees on top of that. And she said, so you haven't taken any other credit or anything like that? And I forgot that I did open a new bank account because I'm with Chase, and Chase are rubbish. So I hope that doesn't affect anything. It's just getting a bit silly now. It's just getting a bit silly. I just want to get into my new gaff. So yeah, anyway, I've got a fair bit to do. So I'm going to head back to the office. It's steep that hill, you know. Let me know what you think about the Defund the BBC thing. I want to believe it's all above board. I always want to believe the best in people. But the problem is people keep letting you down when you do that, don't they? Yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. Not a normal video for me, this one's more of a ramble. Actually, that is quite normal for me, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, I'm going to head back to it. I'll see you at some point in the week. Ta-da.